in Jersey. You're on WNYC. Hi, Gabriel.
Hey Brian, how's it going? I just called in to say that I'm half Mexican, I'm half American. My dad's from Mexico, came here in the 70s. I'm 31 years old. I voted for Trump yesterday. I think I'm a part of the movement. I felt like the Democratic Party, I felt, has been kind of treating Latinos like a blanket group of people, and I never felt like really talked to. And I felt like Kamala was kind of the candidate of status quo, and I felt like if we're not happy with the last 4 years, why would I want another 4 years? As much as she tries to distance herself from Biden, she was there the whole time. Now, the one thing I have to say before I forget, Trump has to put his money where his mouth is. Like, if he has to perform everything he's gonna do before I approve of my decision. You know, I'm not just gonna blindly follow him. He has to do, he has to do well for me to be happy with my choice.
What would well look like to you?
I just think immigration is a huge thing for me from a family we are immigrants. We've taken in Peruvian immigrants during this wave. We've literally been a part of this whole thing. And it's like, there are too many. We need to get them out. And yes, there's no plan. But if we can deport, they say there's estimates 1.4 million a year or something is like really, really high. But that's a lot better than doing nothing and letting more. And that's all I have to say. Because you're putting strain on sources on people who are already here, already American citizens. We don't need more and more and more. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Maria,
and
what are you thinking?
Have it. Well, there you have it. That's why Trump won. Because, as I listen to this young man, I'm just like, okay, well, the thought that he could say, I'm good for 1 point whatever million people to be deported every year. I'm like, okay, well, it's going to come. And we will be reminded again about what happened and what that looked like in our barrios, in our communities. People forget. I don't forget because I was there. I was reporting it. When ICE was coming into courthouses, outside of Hostos Community College, ICE standing on the corner when you have undocumented students just trying to get an education. And the thing is that this idea it's just not based on data, right? What we do know, the data across the board shows that immigrants, undocumented, and those with documents add to the American economy. They are the workers that actually keep the country going. We know that. Anybody who lives in New York City knows we are, with so many undocumented people all around us, we depend on them. And so this gentleman is like, but that's okay, because Donald Trump is going to come in and deport 1 million people, and that's going to make us into a better economy and a safer society. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what you voted for, and let's see what it looks like. But this explains it, Brian. This is exactly where it's just like, wow, there's too many, and I'm just like, I've been reporting on immigration. One, I'm an immigrant, right? But I've been reporting on immigration since 1985. And the American economy goes boom and bust, not because of immigrants. It goes boom and bust because of Wall Street and capitalism. I mean, all economists know this, right? But you cannot point to any time in American economic history and say, oh my God, the economy was bust because of too many immigrants. No. So, now what we do know is that the mass incarceration that people work towards to really decrease mass incarceration is going to be replaced, has been replaced by the mass industrial complex of immigration, detention, and deportation, which most of us never set foot in. We don't go to the detention facilities. We're not in those places. Those places will be where all the money is being made now, in the process of deporting people who, by the way, this young man, in the worst case scenario, right, under Donald Trump, helping an undocumented immigrant would make you a criminal accomplice. So I'm just saying that's kind of, I think, the world where Donald Trump would like to go. And we'll see whether or not he makes those nightmares come true.
Benji, the caller, says that Trump has to deliver. Now that he's in office, he mentioned immigration, actually deportation there as one way that he would want Trump to deliver. You mentioned in the analysis portion of your article on Semaphore that Trump has never been popular, including now, per his approval ratings, despite his election. And now he has to prove he can represent stability when he has represented chaos in the past. Do you think he even wants to represent stability, or outside of the rhetoric of the campaign, if it's different at all from how he intends to govern, what do you think success will look like? What do you think the agenda will look like for the new Trump administration?
Well, in many ways, that's the million